Hello everyone, wait, Jenny, you need to organise your books into piles. Let's actually do this for once. Oh, there, that feels good. Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I hope you're all having a spiffing start to the new academic year, whether or not you are studying. It's September, which means autumn is close. The reader's favourite season. So, although actually my favourite season is spring, sorry. Autumn is a close second though. Anyway, I'm here to do my TBR, of course, obviously. So let's get on with it. 2 books that I'm currently reading and must finish soon for different reasons. The Vanishing Hat by Britt Bennett. Look, I'm nearly finished, so that's good because this is nominated for the Women's Prize and the winner is announced on Wednesday, which is really good because it was going to be in July and I would not have read this in July, so I can have a real opinion about the winner. So at the moment, this is good, but not my favourite. So unless it has a stonking good ending, I don't want this to win. Anyway, the other one I need to read, or finish, I should say. Look, I've got 90 pages left, is June, or Dune, if you will, by Frank Herbert, because this is due back on Monday from the library. And it's been a stress because I had over half of it left to read in a week. So I'm going to get there, I'm proud of myself. Then the next 2 books were my picks that came out of the latest Booktuber spin, and I think the next one is coming up soon, this month, or maybe next month, so I need to get cracking with these. So I could either read The Age of Light by Whitney Sherrera. It is about Leah Millwood when she was in Paris and having a relationship with Man Ray, the famous photographer. Or I could read, or also read, Manhattan Beach by Jennifer Egan, which is about a woman called Anna, who when she is 12, her father mysteriously disappears, and it sounds like he's involved in some shady gangster shizzle. Oh no. And then, suddenly, later in her life, during the Second World War, the man who I think she went to see with her father, or around the time of her father's disappearance, comes into her life while she is being a diver who I think repairs Navy ships for the war effort. And that sounds fascinating because I haven't read many American books that are set in the interwar or Second World War years that are modern, that aren't classics, and I love the exploration of women in men's jobs and that kind of thing, and how their positions changed during the war because they had to fill in for the men who were fighting. So that sounds great. I was so excited when I first bought this in January 2019. You guys, it's time. I need to get to this. And then the 3 books that I randomly picked out of my TBR jar were Day of the Locust by Nathaniel West, which is about Todd Hackett, who is a set designer artist who comes to Hollywood, comes to LA, and suddenly becomes disillusioned with Hollywood because he sees kind of how chaotic it is and how superficial. And then I also picked out Frankenstein, Baghdad by Ahmed Sardoui, which is highly convenient because I was already planning on buddy reading this with Kieran from KD Books. I will link him down below. Please check him out if you haven't already. He is wonderful. And he is doing a PhD, and one of the texts for said PhD is Frankenstein. And I have to confess, I don't like Frankenstein. I'm sorry. I know so many people love that classic, and I just don't. I've tried. I don't. But this is a modern retelling of it, and I'm interested, since Kieran does like Frankenstein, how our opinions are going to differ, or maybe not differ, considering we have very different standpoints on the original text. And then the other one that I picked out is Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. I don't know why I'm being so jaunty with my head movements today. This is about, I think, a woman who is accused of murder. And sorry, I'm so sorry to all the Scottish people out there, I'm so sorry. But that's all I kind of know, but I think it's from her perspective, and it's set in the 1840s. It sounds really good. She is one of those authors that I say I love, but I have read so few of her books. I've literally read her latest poetry collection, The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments. I'm pretty sure that's all I've read by her. It's embarrassing. So it's time to read something else by her, I hope. The short story collection of the month is Homesick for Another World by Tessa Moshbeck. I have read only by her before My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which I did love, but I don't know how she's going to be in short story form. No idea what these are about. I think they're quite dark, but I'm hoping they're also hopeful. Yes, my non-fiction pick of the month is a Promise at Dawn, a memoir by Roman Garret. I say that with French, but actually his mother was Russian, so who knows if I'm saying that right. But it's what it says in the tin. It's a memoir, but it focuses a lot on his relationship with his mother. I'm a sucker for family relationships and that kind of thing. And I think he was a fighter pilot in World War II, but it also talks about him growing up in Russia and Poland and then France. So I'm sure I'll learn a lot about someone who is probably really well known in Europe, or at least France, but I had never heard of until it was recommended to me in Shakespeare & Co. So excited to read this and some random extra books because why not? I never know when to stop. This is Flush by Virginia Woolf, which is literally about the poet Elizabeth Barrett Browning's dog, who I think was a Cocker Spaniel, called Flush. So that's all I need to know. I think it's on my 21 classics that I want to read in 2021 list, which I'm doing okay on, but I definitely need to keep going with it. So this is my nod to that list. Then I have Memoirs of a Fox Hunting Man by Siegfried Sassoon. Look at this lovely photo edition. Whoa, isn't that pretty? This is the first of a trilogy that Siegfried Sassoon wrote that's fictional autobiographical writing. Yes, and George Sherston is the protagonist who it begins with his childhood and then goes into him joining up in the First World War. I think that's the end of this book, or it goes into the beginning of the war in this book, and is a reflection of the loss of innocence in youth, and I think is just meant to be very reflective of Siegfried's own experience. And then a new poetry collection. How exciting! This is All the Names Given by Raymond Antrobus. I adored his first collection, The Perseverance, which won lots of awards, and this is, I think, exploring similar themes about communication and miscommunication because he's a deaf poet, and I think also it is literally looking at his name and the history of names and that kind of family heritage idea, and him being biracial. I think that's explored further, and he just writes on those themes so beautifully. I can't wait to see how this is advanced his poetic technique. Ooh, then last but not least, I'm sorry guys, I know it's been a long one. Overambitious as always. This is Julia and the Shark by Kieran, Millwood, Hargrave, and illustrated by Tom DeFreston. They are a husband and wife dream team, and look at how beautiful the illustrations are. I've purposely not really looked at them that much though, I want them to be a surprise, but there's also this lovely effect where some of the pages have this kind of see-through effect. Oh, just gorgeous. But it's about Julia, who on a summer holiday I think has to go to live in a remote island, I presume in Scotland, with her parents. Her dad I think is fixing a lighthouse, and then her mum is in search of this ancient Greenland shark. I think they can live to be hundreds of years old. They live really far down, and I guess it's a kind of adventure story. It is a children's book, but it just sounded like a really lovely story, and I think the best children's books can be read by adults and enjoyed by them too. So yeah, I'm so excited. These two are really hot off the press. They literally came out on the 2nd of September, but it's always nice to support authors and pre-order their work if you can. So that's a very exciting, tiny book haul. I haven't bought books for a while. Anyway, that's quite enough rambling for now, I think. I better get on with some reading. But I hope you enjoyed that just incredibly all over the place TBR. Tell me if you've read any of these books, or if I should prioritise any of them particularly, since I will not read all of them, but hopefully quite a few. We'll see. And I will see you soon for Bookish Shenanigans. Bye!